Jessica was only 21 years old. 21. An age where life is supposed to feel light. An age where laughter comes easily. Where dreams feel possible. Where tomorrow feels exciting. But Jessica's life did not feel like that. Not even close. Because while others were just beginning to discover life, Jessica had already been forced to survive. Every morning, long before the sun even thought about rising, Jessica was awake. Not because she wanted to be, not because she was rested, but because she had to be. There is a difference, a painful difference, between waking up because you are ready for the day and waking up because the day is already waiting for you, demanding something from you before you even open your eyes. Jessica, that voice again, sharp, familiar, unavoidable, her mother, calling her name like it was an alarm clock that never failed, calling her name like rest was a crime, calling her name like the world would collapse if she didn't move immediately. So she moved, slowly, heavily, like her body belonged to someone much older, like her bones carried stories she had never told anyone. She sat up for a moment, just a moment. She allowed herself to feel it, the tiredness, the weight, the quiet question that lived inside her chest. Is this all my life will be? But there was no time to answer that question. There never was. Because before her feet even touched the ground, her responsibilities had already begun. Cook, clean, prepare, serve, repeat. It became a rhythm, not a joyful one, not a chosen one, but a necessary one. She moved through the small house like someone who had memorized every step of a dance she never wanted to learn. Lighting the stove, washing yesterday's plates, sweeping away dust that will return tomorrow, preparing food that would disappear within minutes, doing everything so that everyone else could do what they needed to do. Her younger siblings stirred awake, slowly, carelessly, like children who still believe the world was safe. Jessica, where is my uniform? Jessica, I'm hungry. Jessica, I can't find my shoe. Jessica, Jessica, Jessica. Her name echoed through the house like a responsibility that never rested. And she answered every time, every single time. Because to them, she wasn't just their sister. She was the solution to every problem. And she never complained, not out loud. She will help them dress, fix their collars, tie their shoes, serve their food, pack their bags, wipe their faces, and gently rush them out the door. And then she would stand there at the doorway, watching them leave, watching them walk towards something she once had and no longer did. School, laughter, friends, possibility. She watched them disappear into the distance, and for a brief moment, a very brief moment, something inside her tightened. Not jealousy, not exactly. Something quieter than that. Something deeper, something harder to explain. It was the feeling of remembering a version of her yourself that no longer exists. Because Jessica had once been them. Once. She had once sat in the classroom, back straight, eye focused, hand raised, voice confident. She had once believed that she could become something, but life had other plans. Plans that did not ask for her permission. Plans that did not care about her dreams. Plans that slowly, quietly took those dreams away from her. one responsibility at a time, one sacrifice at a time, one we need you at a time. And so she stopped going to school. Not because she wasn't capable, not because she didn't want to, but because someone had to step up. And that someone was always Jessica. The market was already alive by the time she arrived. Loud, busy, relentless voices overlapping, people bargaining, money exchanging hands, dust rising into the air. This was where she spent most of her day. Not learning, not growing, not discovering herself, but walking, surviving, enduring. She moved quickly because in the market, speed mattered, attention mattered, energy mattered, and exhaustion was a weakness you could not afford. Buy this, come and see, fresh, fresh, she called out to the customers. Smiled when she needed to, negotiated when she had to, counted every coin carefully, because every small amount added up to something important. Food, school fees, survival. But not everyone came to the market to buy. Some came for other reasons. Fine girl, why are you suffering like this? Come with me, I will take care of you. She heard it again and again and again, the same tone, the same smile, the same assumption that her situation made her available, that her struggle made her desperate, that her silence meant permission. She would smile, a small, controlled smile, the kind that protected her, the kind that said nothing but avoided trouble. And then she would turn away, continue walking, continue pretending it didn't affect her because she needed the money, because reacting could cost her, because survival sometimes meant swallowing discomfort. And in those moments, her dignity felt like something had to be negotiated. By the time the sun began to set, her body felt heavier, her steps slower, her energy almost gone. But the day was not over. Not yet, because home was just another place where she was needed. Dinner had to be made, water had to be fetched, younger ones had to be helped, everything had to continue. And Jessica continued. She helped with homework, explained things patiently as she always would, repeated herself when they didn't understand, encouraged them, corrected them, and when her own mind felt too tired to think, she listened to her parents talk about money, about problems, about responsibilities, important conversations, necessary conversations, but never about her. No one asked what she wanted. No one asked what she felt. No one asked if she was okay. Not because they didn't care, but because they were used to her being strong, used to her being dependable, used to her being the one who could handle it. And sometimes, when you're always the strong one, people forget that you can break too. That night, after everything was done, after the house grew quiet, and after everyone else had gone to sleep, Jessica lay down, her body still, but her mind awake. She stared at the ceiling, at nothing, at everything, and for once, there was silence. No voices calling her, no tasks awaiting, no expectations pressing her down. Just her, and in that silence, that question returned. What about me? It didn't come loudly. It didn't come with anger. It came softly, almost like a whisper, almost like something she wasn't supposed to hear. What about me? What about her dreams? What about her future? What about the life she once imagined? Was it gone? Was it too late? Was she allowed to want something different? She turned slightly, closed her eyes, then opened them again. Sleep refused to come because for the first time in a long time, Jessica wasn't just thinking about tomorrow. She was thinking about herself. And that was new. That was unfamiliar. That was dangerous. Because the moment you start to imagine a different life is the moment everything begins to change. And sometimes change doesn't come gently. Sometimes it comes with choices, difficult ones, painful ones, life-altering ones, and Jessica was about to face hers. Because somewhere, not too far from where she lay, someone was already walking into her story. Someone who will see her, speak to her, offer her something different, something tempting, something confusing, something that would challenge everything she believed. And when morning came, when the sun rose again, when her name was called again, nothing will feel the same. Not anymore, because this time, Jessica would not just be surviving her life, she would be forced to choose it. Follow for episode 2. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.